346 lives were lost exposing fatal flaws. In aviation safety, one sensor failure changed everything. In moments of crisis, every second counts, and in the case of the Boeing 737 MAX, it was a single sensor malfunction that sparked unprecedented chaos. This is not financial advice. Two devastating crashes, Lion Air Flight 6010 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 3U2, claimed the lives of 346 innocent people in just 5 tragic months. This powerful aircraft, once heralded as the pinnacle of engineering excellence, turned into a harbinger of disaster. Here's the part nobody's talking about. How did a seemingly innocuous piece of technology lead to such irreplaceable loss? As we delve into this harrowing story, we will unveil the hidden dangers lurking within the MAX's design and its far-reaching implications for the aviation industry and beyond. Both tragedies were tragically linked by one pivotal system, the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, MCAS. This system was engineered to counteract the plane's flight characteristics, caused primarily by the installation of larger engines that were positioned further forward on the aircraft, which caused the nose to pitch up uncontrollably. To counter this, MCAS was supposed to automatically adjust the plane's nose angle downward, yet it depended on a single angle of attack sensor to function effectively. When that sensor failed, the results were catastrophic. Here's the part nobody's talking about. Pilots caught in a harrowing struggle for control had no concept of MCAS or its critical role in their aircraft's operation. To compound the tragedy, Boeing's choice to exclude MCAS information from the flight manual and charge airlines extra for essential safety warnings created a dangerous environment where crews were woefully unprepared for emergencies. These events have ignited a worldwide discussion about aviation safety standards and accountability, prompting regulators and the industry to confront an urgent need for reform. But here's what that actually means for investors. The aftermath of these crashes paints an alarming picture. With 346 lives lost, Boeing faces an estimated $20 billion in costs, including legal fees, settlements, and damages resulting from the tragedies. This staggering figure reflects not just the direct financial impact but also the erosion of trust, leading to a plummet in Boeing's stock price from $440 in 2018 to under $200 less than a year later. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, is now under scrutiny for its certification process, which previously permitted Boeing to self-regulate. Here's the part nobody's talking about. This alarming failure exposes systemic issues within regulatory oversight. As safety is compromised for profits, the risks grow exponentially. The implications of these events extend well beyond the MAX, highlighting the urgent need for industry-wide reassessment and reform in the name of safety and accountability. Examining the mechanics of the MCAS system reveals a design deeply flawed by a critical single point of failure: the angle of attack sensor. Rather than ensuring redundancy to safeguard against such failures, Boeing opted for a less expensive design, and even charged airlines additional fees for crucial safety features like the angle of attack warning light. When the sensor failed, MCAS would force the aircraft into a nose-down dive, putting pilots in an uncontrollable spiral. The real horror unfolded as flight crews remained oblivious to the very presence of MCAS, lacking any training to counteract the system's malfunctions. Here's the part nobody's talking about. Imagine the terror as pilots struggled to avert disaster while grappling with an unknown adversary. Boeing's corporate response following the crashes was frustratingly evasive. They downplayed the issues, prioritizing their corporate image over the families grieving their loved ones. What we're witnessing is an urgent reckoning, not just for Boeing, but for the entire aviation sector. The push for regulatory reform has never been more urgent as the industry grapples with its moral and operational responsibilities. The potential ramifications of this tragedy stretch across the globe, influencing future aircraft designs and the foundational principles of air travel safety. The consequences of the Boeing 737 MAX disasters extend beyond financial loss and into the realm of public perception, with trust in aircraft safety significantly eroding. Passenger confidence is shaken, as reflected in the drop in airline stock prices across the board. For instance, when news broke of the crashes, American Airlines stock dropped by 8%, while Southwest Airlines felt a comparable impact. The entire aviation industry now confronts a crisis of confidence, creating a ripple effect with airlines and manufacturers alike. Here's the part nobody's talking about. This isn't merely about Boeing. The reputational risks pose threats to the broader aviation landscape. As passengers express hesitance, investors remain on high alert, leading to a surge in short selling of airline stocks. The looming specter of lawsuits and settlements threatens to further destabilize Boeing's financial future, making this an industry-wide crisis and not just a corporate dilemma. Stakeholders must navigate this newfound terrain cautiously, as any missteps in trust building could result in irrevocable damage. The risks associated with the Boeing 737 MAX fallout are multifaceted and mounting. Regulatory scrutiny on Boeing has reached unprecedented levels, resulting in a new foundation of safety requirements that will shape the future of aircraft design. Other manufacturers now feel the pressure, needing to ensure their safety protocols are impeccable. The threat of lawsuits is pervasive. It's estimated that Boeing could incur an additional $5 billion in costs related to legal battles and settlements. With the FAA mandating 2 sensors in future iterations of the MCAS and insisting on comprehensive pilot training programs, the industry must adapt quickly. Here's the part nobody's talking about. But will these changes be sufficient, or will we see a profound transformation that could alter aviation as we know it? It's an unsettling outlook that raises questions about future standards and accountability in the industry. The possibility of further disaster cannot be overlooked, and stakeholders must remain vigilant. Looking ahead, the outlook for Boeing and the aviation industry is laden with challenges, but it also presents opportunities for profound improvements. As Boeing grapples with the hidden risks that lie beneath the surface, investors must remain cautious yet hopeful. The company is faced with a monumental task. They must rebuild trust and integrity in a sector where reliability is paramount. But the question lingers, can they truly rectify their culture of prioritizing profits over safety? The aviation industry finds itself at a critical juncture. Here's the part nobody's talking about. While change is necessary, it may come at a considerable cost. It's essential to closely monitor how Boeing navigates this turbulent period. Will this be the dawn of a new era in aviation safety? Or will it lead to the decline of public trust in one of its largest players? The question now stands: profit or peril? Boeing's situation is dire and complex. With 346 lives lost due to a CGL sensor failure, we must recognize this tragedy as a stark warning for the entire industry. Investors must approach this situation with caution. The repercussions of these failures are far-reaching, affecting not only Boeing but the entire aviation ecosystem. Here's the part nobody's talking about. In light of these events, a cautious hold strategy might be the most prudent path forward for current and potential investors as we await clarity in the company's recovery efforts. The ripple effects are only beginning to unfold. Next, we will delve deeply into the financial implications of Boeing's ongoing recovery efforts. Are you still confident in airline stocks? Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to our channel for exclusive insights and crucial updates that you won't want to miss.